for you all to reattach and to continue where things were before he went to prison. So I don't think that anybody is not feeling or have feelings for what you all are going through. Everybody understands. The problem is that the system that we have to work with, the system is a system that could only improve with time. And what we are facing on a day-to-day basis at the courts, and I'm talking purely from a defense position, is we are trying to escalate matters or try to expedite it on a day-to-day basis. And we have challenges to face. Very often it's not the police to blame. Very often it may not be the members of the judiciary, meaning that the magistrate frustrating the progress of the matter. It's simple things like you're waiting on the forensic reports to come back in relation to a weapon or in relation to marijuana. These things take a year, 2 years, 3 years. In some instances, it's taking as much as 5 years. So your loved one who is in the system cannot get his day in court because the forensics isn't back, and you need that in order to progress with the case. So in as much as we may want to blame the prison and blame the police, there are institutional things that we have to deal with in this country that is impacting on the progress of these matters. Now, I'm not here trying to make any excuse for anybody or saying that, the system is what it is and you all must just learn to bite the bullet or bear with the circumstances. You need to understand that it's forums like this and forums that arise out of these meetings that will create greater awareness and cause the politicians and the parliamentarians to put institutional machinery in place to cause things to move faster. Legislatively, the parliament makes laws, and public servants are asked to execute those laws. Once the machinery is put in place, then we could only hope and pray that with the generation of increased forensics or faster and expedient certificates of analysis and so on, things could move and progress in a greater way. Now, I am not going to dwell on or try to repeat what Mr. Abdullah says. We all know what these men are facing on a day-to-day basis. The system isn't what it's supposed to be. The former inspector of prisons in the forum in 2015 highlighted that there's a distinction between a jailer and a convicted individual who's serving time, that the jail system that we have in place is purely for or was geared towards dealing with convicted men and dealing with the reformation of these individuals. But when you have remandees to the tune of hundreds within the system, the jail wasn't created for that. Right? Now, a lot of you all here have relatives that will be more or less remandees, and what their frustration is pivoting on is that the system isn't accommodating a quick start. What you may have to do, and as I said, I'm speaking from my personal position, what you may have to do is to continue to have discussions, whether it be tongue meetings, and liaise with the authorities in what way you can formally put pressure on the politicians and the system to put greater measures in place to have things done. To say it in a different way, if it is you all, in the same way that you're here today, let your voices be heard, that you're not pleased, that you have children that are dislocated from their fathers, you have wives, young wives that are dislocated from their husbands, and if it is we just sit back and allow things to run its natural course, then its natural course is just going to breed more frustration. And the frustration is not being felt in the household alone, it's being felt by the men inside who are living in a cell that the conditions aren't the best. They don't have the best access to health care, they don't have the best access to food, and the system seems to be frustrating them. Rather than being quiet about it in terms of not doing anything, if it is you were to engage the state services and put that sort of legal, formal pressure, then they would be embarrassed into acting. Now, very often people say, well, talk leads nowhere, but taking action outside of the ambit of the law could only put you all in more difficulty, right? So having said that, without elaborating any further, my purpose here is to encourage you. If it is you need assistance in terms of legal aid assistance, you all know where the legal aid services are. If it is you need assistance in terms of access to lawyers who could assist, you can speak to me informally when this thing is over here, and we can have a discussion as to what we can do additionally, right? But as I said, I'm very heartened to see the turnout, and I'm looking forward to being a part of anything further that you all may have, and I'm making myself openly available. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Attorney at Law Farid Ali. One quick point that I wanted to make here. We were expecting the Dean of UE St. Augustine Faculty of Law, Professor Rosemary Bell Antoine. She was supposed to have addressed us today. However, she had sent her, her apologies for not being here. She said that, it actually clashed with one of her classes that she had today. She was very saddened by it, though. She really wanted to be a part of this initiative. She did, however, express an interest to work with us and to initiate some sort of programs in future so that we can continue representing this cause. All right? So I would like to welcome to the podium now my good friend on the left. And yes, he's a good friend. He's not our enemy. All right? A lot of you may think that the prison service is a demon. It's not. They are faced with challenges, mounting challenges on a daily basis. And we have to recognize that in order to move forward. We cannot expect that we want to get better out of this. But we only want our cause to be heard. We only want to be our issues to be addressed. What about the issues of the officers who have lost their lives? What about their issues? What about their wives and their children? They're in pain as well. So let us keep that in mind, and let us have an open heart in dealing with this issue. All right? So I now welcome Deputy Commissioner of Prison, Mr. Mohammed.
Chairman Imam Abdullah, His Worship Nicholas Ali, other honorable members of the panel, esteemed guests, members of the media, citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, Assalamu alaikum, good afternoon. The renowned Albert Einstein once said, "In matters of truth and justice, there is no difference between large and small problems. For issues concerning the treatment of people are all the same." It gives me great pleasure standing before you all on behalf of the Commissioner of Prisons, Mr. Gerard Wilson, and by extension, his executive, to address matters that affect all the citizens of this society, including those in our care. The Trinidad and Tobago Prison Service, as an arm of the criminal justice system, is mandated to the protection of society and crime prevention by facilitating opportunities for rehabilitation of offenders while maintaining control under safe, secure, and humane conditions. To achieve this goal, we have moved away from the philosophy of retributive justice in the management of incarcerated individuals to that of a restorative philosophy. Under this system, each individual is assessed on entry, and treatments designed to treat their criminogenic needs are introduced to them in order to achieve some sort of change, both in their thinking needs as well as in their professional needs. This treatment is given, well, at first it was given to only convicted inmates, but it has since been extended to those who are remanded into custody and awaiting trial. Through partnership with various stakeholders, organizations, and concerned citizens, we have seen cognitive behavioral changes within a number of our clients. In fact, quite a few of these individuals have moved on to be successful in various fields of endeavor. For example, we have the remanded inmates debate team, which has made it into the semifinals that will be coming up soon. They have done extensive research into the various topics under discussion, and from the feedback that we are getting from our clients and our customers, various stakeholders, is that the debate is one of a very high standard, some of which would be broadcast via the media. We also have in our custody a remanded inmate by the name of Nicholas Khan, who is into poetry and has attended a number of workshops as well as represented himself in a number of discourses at some high-ranking places in Trinidad and Tobago. We also have a preacher by the name of Marlon Lee, who would represent his faith in a number of concerts as well as prayer meetings in the various churches throughout Trinidad and Tobago. These are just some of the developments that we have for unconvicted inmates. Of course, we have a lot more for convicted inmates. Notwithstanding these success factors, we continue to face challenges in achieving our strategic objectives. As such, the Trinidad and Tobago Prison Service welcomes the opportunity to partner with the United Prison Movement to improve the interpersonal relationship between the Islamic and non-Islamic clients, as well as the prison service and the family of our clients. Sustaining amicable relationship between this group would assist the prison service in equitable management of all our incarcerated individuals. That being said, in closing, I wish to thank the United Prison Movement and all its stakeholders in advance as we work together to ensure a safer Trinidad and Tobago. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Mr. Mohammed.